Close your eyes and travel back 4,500 years. Imagine yourself surrounded by a vast, scorching desert. No modern machinery, no steel, no electricity. Only human power and an unyielding will. Before you stands a colossal structure, clad in polished white limestone, shimmering like a diamond under the relentless sun. The Great Pyramid of Giza. This is not just a tomb. This is a challenge thrown at time itself. And this video is no ordinary history lesson. Today, we begin one of the most ambitious odysseys in YouTube history. The 7 wonders of the ancient world. 7 monumental structures built by humanity, some swallowed by waves, some buried under sands, but all transformed into legends. We will explore them step by step, secret by secret. In this series, we will walk through the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, find shelter in the shadow of the Colossus of Rhodes, and witness the majesty of the Temple of Artemis. But we must return to where it all began, to the first wonder, where not a single stone has shifted for millennia, the Pyramid of Khufu. You see it every day, yet you know almost nothing about it. Who lifted these 20-ton stones? And how? Why are the inner chambers aligned perfectly with the stars? And most importantly, what were the pharaohs truly hiding in there? If you are ready, we are opening the door to history's greatest mystery. To ensure you don't miss this epic journey, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. The first chapter of the series begins now. Welcome to the heart of the pyramids. Welcome to the impossible. Statistics can often be soulless, but when it comes to the Great Pyramid, the numbers scream. This structure consists of approximately 2,300,000 massive stone blocks. Each weighs an average of 2.5 tons. Some granite blocks weigh a staggering 80 tons. Think about it. While a modern crane would struggle to lift a single one of those blocks, how did the Egyptians transport them from the Nile, kilometers away? Even stranger is the perfection of their alignment. The base of the pyramid is so level that even with modern construction techniques, achieving such precision over such a vast area is nearly impossible. The 4 sides of the pyramid face the 4 cardinal points north, south, east, and west with unshakable accuracy. Even the Paris Observatory couldn't match this level of precision until centuries later. So, who built this titan? For decades, Hollywood films told us stories of thousands of slaves being whipped as they dragged these stones. But reality whispers a much more noble tale. Worker villages discovered near the pyramid show that those who worked here were not slaves, but high-status laborers, engineers, and artisans. They built this not by force, but through faith, to send their pharaoh into eternity. But the real question remains, how did they apply such complex mathematics in an age when the wheel and iron were not yet common? As magnificent as the pyramid is on the outside, its interior is equally claustrophobic and mysterious. The Grand Gallery, reached through narrow tunnels, is an architectural marvel. This 7-meter-long corridor was geniusly designed to distribute the weight of millions of tons of stone outward. When you enter the king's chamber, you are met with total silence. There are no hieroglyphs here, no decorations, only a massive sarcophagus carved from a single piece of granite. Curiously, this sarcophagus is too large to have passed through the doors. This means the pyramid was built around it. Pharaoh Khufu placed the center of his death here while he was still very much alive. But the mystery doesn't end there. In recent years, advanced technology like muon tomography discovered a massive void deep inside the pyramid, right above the Grand Gallery. Known as the Big Void, its purpose remains unknown. Is it a secret treasury, or a structural gap to prevent a collapse? Historians are still searching for an answer within that darkness. The Great Pyramid is not just a tomb, it is also a colossal observatory. The so-called air shafts inside were not made for ventilation. These shafts align perfectly with the brightest stars of that era, the Orion constellation and Sirius. To the Egyptians, these stars were not just points of light, they were the homes of the gods. It was believed that when a pharaoh died, his soul would pass through these shafts to reach the stars. Mathematically, there is a strange ratio between the pyramid's dimensions and the dimensions of the Earth. If you divide the perimeter of the pyramid by twice its height, you get the number pi. The golden ratio is hidden in every corner of the structure. You might call it a coincidence, but so many coincidences in one structure feel like proof of an ancient, lost wisdom. The sand-colored, stepped structure we see today is actually just the pyramid's skeleton. In its glory days, the Great Pyramid was covered in polished white limestone. It was so bright that when the sun hit it, the pyramid shimmered like a giant mirror, visible from miles away. At its very peak sat the pyramidion, a pointed capstone likely plated in pure gold. Imagine for a moment, a white giant rising to the sky in the middle of the desert, its tip glowing like a second sun. To anyone seeing it back then, it must have looked like a god descended to earth. Over time, earthquakes and people stripping the stones to build Cairo's mosques left the pyramid in its current, bare state. It may have lost its shine, but its soul remains. The pyramids have always attracted not just archaeologists, but those who ruled the world. When Napoleon Bonaparte arrived in Egypt in 1798, he stood before them and said those famous words to his soldiers, "Soldiers, from the top of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you." Napoleon entered the pyramid alone and spent a night there. When he came out, he was pale. When asked what he had seen, he simply said, "Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me." What Napoleon experienced that night remains a secret, but the effect of the pyramids on the human mind is undeniable. This is not just a pile of stones. It is a point where time and space bend, where all human knowledge is crystallized. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the last remaining of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Time has turned everything else to dust. It burned great libraries, destroyed cities, but it could not touch the pyramids. They continue to rise in the desert as the ultimate proof of human perseverance and the desire for eternity. But what awaits you after this massive structure? We leave the unshakable stones of the pyramid to travel to a place where nature and engineering merged in an impossible love. Our next stop takes us to the gardens hanging in the middle of the desert, to the legendary greenery of Babylon, a place built by a king for his wife, where waters defied gravity to climb upward. Do you think the pyramids were truly built with only human strength? Or was there a lost technology we have yet to discover? I look forward to your theories in the comments. I will read every single one. To make sure you don't miss the second part of this series, The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. We will continue to turn the dusty pages of history. Until then, stay well and stay curious.